All right. Hey there. Can you tell us your in-game name and age?
Yeah, hi. My name is MonteroYou, and I'm 21 years old.
Wow, that's great. That's great, Montero. Now, are you excited for what's about to happen to you here today?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not quite sure what's gonna happen, but yeah, let's do it.
That's okay. It might get a little bit hard at times, but we're going to have a lot of fun here. So, all right. Send in the rhinos, please. Hey guys, welcome to our first ever episode of the highly anticipated Probing Time with Salt Prime, where we take members of our community and try to get to know them on a deeper level. You know, I sometimes get asked the question, hey Salt, what is endgame in Warframe? Now, some people think it's Steel Path Endurance, some people think it's Eidolon or Orifix hunting, and some people even think it's Fashion Frame. But I'm here to tell you that's all wrong. Endgame is actually creating a weekly talk show set in your dojo and forcing your clan to build and fund the set with their blood, sweat, and tears under the threat of cruel and unusual punishment. So today, for our first weekly episode, we have none other than the infamous MonteroYou. A lot of you may already know that name because for a very long time, he maintained the first commenter title on the channel. So much so that other commenters were questioning his legitimacy and even if he was an actual physical person. So I plan to question him about this and finally get to the bottom of this mystery. Now, over time, MonteroYou eventually went from a channel commenter to an in-game clan member to an officer, eventually a friend, and even a lover. So, all right, everyone, please welcome MonteroYou to the set here. All right, go ahead and take your seat there, Montero.
Thank you.
So, Montero, first tell us a little bit about yourself here.
Yeah, I my name is Montero. I'm 21 years old. Been playing the game a long time channel watcher.
How long have you been
Started off.
playing Warframe?
Man, I've been playing Warframe for on and off since the Sacrifice quest came out. So 5, 6, 7-ish years.
That's a long time. That's actually probably even more than me. I think I've been playing pretty consistently for only like 5 years.
Oh,
So, what is your Warframe main? What Warframe do you play the most of?
I I think my most played Warframe is Frost, but I like switching up like Warframes so much that like I have maybe 4 or 5 frames that I play the most, I'd say.
Yeah, every time I play with you, you do play different ones. You know, there are some people where I play with
Yeah.
them and I know exactly what they're going to bring every time. And you, it is like kind of different all the time. But
Yeah.
Frost is a good pick, though. He's a good main if he is your main.
Yeah.
Now, what weapon is your main weapon that you find that you use the most of?
Wow. I love the Lich weapons like Kuva, Tenet, Coda. Like I think I swap between them a lot, and sometimes I'll bring out an Incarnon. But yeah, maybe Kuva Heck, Tenet Arcaplasm, or one of those, I'd say.
Nice. How are you liking the Coda Bass Assist since it's kind of like a new Tenant Arcplasmor ish kind of a weapon? Like, how do you like it compared to it?
I love it. It's one of my most used weapons recently, anyway, since it came out. I'm using it right now, actually. Very happy. I am a big shotgun lover in general, so I'm very happy with how it turned out.
Nice. Me too. I love the shotguns in the game personally. Um, Another question I wanted to ask you here is if you could make one change to Warframe, what would it be? Like, what would be the one thing you would want to see changed?
Hmm. Um, I wow. There's a lot of things, but maybe I mean, they've started doing it already with Rhino and Kome, but maybe more like taking an extra, like a new look at the crafting times for certain things.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
not just warframes, but an overhaul maybe over some of the crafting times, because I think at the state the game is right now, they could afford to lower a lot of them.
I agree. I agree. You know, I kind of feel like they probably make enough money on like some of the cosmetics in the game and things like that. Like there's not really a need for this like almost mobile game-esque amount of time it takes to craft things.
Yeah,
So I
I
do
agree.
agree with you there. Now, what is your favorite game of all time? Like not even Warframe, unless it is Warframe, but like, you know, out of any game, what is your favorite game?
Out of any game, because Warframe is by far the game that I have the most time in, the
Okay.
most hours. But you know, I my favorite game of all time is I'd have to say Ghost of Tsushima. If you know that game,
I've never heard of
single
that.
player game.
If you can explain it a bit for us.
Yeah. It's a single player game where you like it's a linear story kind of, and you
Okay.
just basically you start out as this samurai who his island that he lives on, it gets taken over by Mongols, so he has to go from being a samurai with honor, and over time you start like sneaking and like backstabbing and becoming like a ninja, and like losing your honor kind of.
Oh, very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, I've definitely never heard of that one, but that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Another question I have here is what other games are you playing currently? Like a lot of, I should say.
Hmm.
You know, obviously
I
like
mean,
Warframe is
yeah,
your main, but like
yeah.
is there anything you play like kind of like to the side of Warframe?
Oh yeah. Um, yeah. I'd say like because I have when it comes to like FPSs and like shooters and stuff, I do play some Apex Legends, and I play the finals as well.
Nice,
Not
nice.
super known, but yeah, like those two shooters. But then I'm playing Borderlands 2, for example, and Helldivers 2,
Oh
two
yeah,
games that I
I love
go
Helldivers
between.
too. And I'm excited actually for Borderlands 4. What do you think about
Yeah,
like Borderlands 4 coming out?
yeah. I mean, I've seen the trailers and everything. It looks really good. I mean, I saw the characters; they look interesting. But I'd have to see, because even the gameplay trailer we got wasn't there wasn't even that much gameplay in it, to be honest. So I have to see a bit more. But I want to be optimistic. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think that's later on. I think it's like the fall-ish is when it's coming out.
Mm, mm.
All right, so we'll get into some more personal questions here. So what country are you from if you don't mind saying?
Yeah, I know. I'm from Sweden.
Nice, nice. And how do you like Sweden?
I mean, I like it. I mean, it's the only country I've ever lived in. I've barely visited uh, any other countries other than the neighboring, Denmark, Norway. But I like living here. I think it's, if you get the chance to visit, I definitely say it's worth visiting at least once or twice.
Nice. Yeah, my wife Pepper, she really wants us to either go to Norway or Sweden. We haven't really decided yet which one she wants to go to, but one of
Yeah.
those two, maybe both, who knows.
Mm. Yeah.
So now, in your opinion, are Swedish meatballs the superior meatballs among all the other Scandinavian meatballs?
Swedish meatballs are easily the top tier, like number one spot when it comes to meatballs.
Would you
Like
say S
maybe,
tier?
oh, absolutely, like a double S tier.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's you can't even really compare. I mean, maybe
Because
some of the other like,
I'm only
yeah,
really familiar with Italian meatballs, which is pretty much just like
yeah,
ground beef, a little bit of like onions, maybe some garlic powder, and that's about it.
mm,
Like what
yeah.
makes Swedish meatballs so good?
Um, a big part is of course the meatballs themselves, like the size, what you have in them, uh, and all of that stuff, like the kind of meat you use and everything. But then another part is, we have mashed potatoes
All right, all right.
with meatballs, and we also have, this is very important, we have a kind of jam with them that is absolutely essential.
Is it like a
And so
fruit
all of
jam?
these things. Yeah, exactly. It's I don't know the English word for the berry, but it's a specific berry kind of
Gotcha,
jam.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting. So another question I have for you is, what do you do right now? What do you do? Like, do you work? Are you a student?
No, I'm unemployed at the moment, but I'm looking for work.
All right. That's fair. It's hard nowadays, honestly. Even in America, it's hard finding jobs. Now,
Yeah.
what are your future plans? What do you see yourself doing eventually in the future, or what would you want to see yourself do eventually? I should say.
I mean, I've always wanted to work in IT in some capacity. So long term, I'd like to you know, get a foot into the IT the community and start eventually working there.
Nice. I've heard myself that IT and the medical field are like the two fields that will just always do good and keep needing more and more people. So I feel like that it's probably a good bet. I don't know much about IT myself, but I know the medical field is very much like that, where people are only getting older and people are only getting sicker on average. So those fields always are going to need more people.
Yeah, I think it's similar in the IT as well. Like there's just more like coders and whatever it is. You need more. And
yeah, I mean, everything in life is kind of becoming more like computer oriented. Your refrigerator has a computer screen on it now.
Yeah.
There's like special toilets that play music and do all kinds of weird stuff. Everything's got computers in it now. So
yeah.
So the next thing I wanted to ask you here is about the first comments or allegations. So we want to know how exactly you managed to get first commenters so many times.
It is truly a combination of things. One is, with time, I kind of figured out your regular, like if things go to your, like, according to your plan, what time are you going to be publishing the videos?
Yeah. I am a very routine person. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's one part. The two big parts here is, of course, one, with being unemployed and not going to be stuck at work while you're uploading the video. And I mean, so that's one big part. And the other one is just the time that you post here in the Nordics. It's like 4:30 p.m.
Yeah.
I'm really not doing anything else or have anything else that I need to take care of. So I would just be on my phone when you publish the videos most of the time anyway.
That's really what I thought, because I do my videos in the morning, and by the time I'm done doing like all the editing and finally uploading it, it's usually about like noon or 1 o'clock my time. So I always thought in my head, I'm like, well, it probably hits him in Sweden at about like prime time, their time, where they're just kind of like sitting around waiting for dinner anyway. So it's probably like perfect time for him to see, the alert there.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah. So, well, thank you so much for coming on today, Montero. We really appreciate it. Thanks for kind of like opening up to us and letting us know a little bit more about you. So that's all the time we have for today, folks. Tune in next week when I'll challenge other Warframe creators to a mud wrestling competition in my backyard. All right, take care, guys.